Kindiki wewe. Wewe soprano wewe. Wewe soprano wewe. Tunakufunza adabu 27th of this month.
The upcoming November 27 Mbeere North by-election has become a focal point of Kenya's shifting political landscape.
Wewe ndio nani? Haujafanya kitu chochote. Haujajenga classroom, haujajenga choo, haujajenga barabara, haujatuwekea maji, haujajenga kanisa. Saa hii unakuja unatuambia ati wewe kiongozi wa nani? Waende asiende. Waende wasiende. Atembea asitembee.
Unatusi aje mtu alichaguliwa na watu ya Mount Kenya? Na wewe mwenyewe ni mtu umenominatiwa na Kasongo. Uko under Faruk Kibet. Wewe unafanya kazi under Faruk Kibet. Alafu unakuja huku Mbeere kutupea lectures ati kwa sababu umetumwa na pesa.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has escalated his presence in the constituency, employing highly personalized grassroots mobilization strategies. His active involvement and endorsement of Democratic Party candidate Newton Karish appear to be reshaping local political dynamics in ways that carry broader implications for the national political environment.
Huyu Karisa anatosha atoshi? Aingie asiingie? Aende bunge asiende? Wangapi wanasema Karisa ingie, Karisa ingie, Karisa? Harambe! Harambe!
Welcome. This is Inside the Calling. Now, for starters, Gachagua has adopted an immersive grassroots approach, including early morning village walks, door-to-door engagements, and extended interactions with the residents. This method reflects a deliberate departure from high-profile rallies toward a more personalized, relational style of campaigning. This is the analytical significance. 1. Direct voter engagement often increases candidate visibility and fosters trust, especially in rural constituencies where personal contacts remains a major determinant of political loyalty. Two, door-to-door mobilization allows a political figure to gather unfiltered feedback from residents, shaping targeted messaging that resonates with local concerns. And 3, this method also signals seriousness and proximity, portraying the campaign as people-centered rather than elite-driven. So Gachagua's presence on the ground appears designed to project commitment, accessibility, and a re-engagement with grassroots structures.
Mtu yote ya one term anapigia Karisiku jenga barabara, sijui nitajenga Kabomo Dam. Kuna kitu amefanya? Alituambia atatuweka pesa kwa mfuko. Kuna mtu ameweka pesa kwa mfuko? Alirudi ile kidogo tulikuwa naye akato.
So let's look at the endorsement of Newton Karish and its strategic meaning. Gachagua's endorsement of Newton Karish, who he praises as a people-focused candidate, suggests a coordinated effort within the emerging united opposition to consolidate support behind a single contender in the by-election.
Pesa ya Kasongo watu wamekula, Kasongo amenyolewa. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Kasongo anyolewa sinyolewe. Lakini sasa tumefika baada ya kukula pesa ya Kasongo. Hata ile wataleta mchukue. Lakini kura ni ya nani?
The implications are backing a candidate from the Democratic Party while not fielding one from his own party reinforces the narrative of opposition alignment and strategic unity.
Firstborn wa kwanza wa united opposition anazaliwa mlima huu hapa Mbeere North.
Also, Gachagua's claim that his interactions with the villagers strengthened his confidence in Karish reinforces the attempt to frame the DP candidate as a product of grassroots consensus rather than party engineering. And of course, this alliance model reduces the likelihood of vote fragmentation, a significant factor in competitive by-elections.
Mzuri, siwaambia ni moja hii. Hii ni ya ukweli. Hii ni ya ukweli. Hii ni ile ya ukweli kabisa.
The endorsement therefore serves both local electoral objectives and wider political symbolism.
One term. Muko one term. Kura ya wezi sema huko one term, alafu unaenda kura kwa Muthende. Mtu yote ya one term anapigia Karisi ku.
Looking at messaging and narrative framing, Gachagua has employed messaging that highlights themes of liberation, community empowerment, and political renewal. He praises the residents of Mbeere North as awakened and hardworking, framing them as central actors in a collective push for transformation. Now, this is the interpretation. By emphasizing renewal, Gachagua is tapping into public appetite for change, a common political narrative during mid-cycle elections.
Pembe ingolewe, alafu ndovu wafanya nini? Na ng'ombe isikufe na maziwa, si ndio? Ikamuliwe kwa alafu ikufe.
The use of liberation-themed language attempts to cast the by-election as part of a broader political movement rather than an isolated contest. And also, such framing often aims to strengthen identity-based motivation among voters, positioning participation as part of a larger mission. This narrative approach aligns with Gachagua's broader political repositioning following his departure from the executive.
Nani atashinda? The contest is simple. Kwa sababu huyu kijana ameletwa, na hiyo kijana hana makosa, ni mtoto wetu. Tutamsaidia huko mbele tukiunda serikali. That boy, there is no problem. Anatumika tu, hata hana kura ya hapa Mbeere.
What about alignment with the local sentiment? Gachagua's portrayal of the Mbeere North electorate as ready for political renewal signals an attempt to align himself with the local perceptions of economic and governance challenges. Looking at the value of this, by positioning himself as a listener and observer through house-to-house visits, Gachagua presents himself as synchronized with grassroots frustrations and expectations. This alignment can help shift political energy away from national rivalries towards local shared grievances, potentially increasing voter turnout or altering partisan loyalties. Now, whether this perception reflects measurable public sentiment would require independent polling, but the narrative is strategically designed to resonate with rural voters.
UDA imekufa haijakufa? Mutaizika siku gani? Mazishi ni ya lini ya UDA? Wangapi wanasema UDA imekufa?
Now, what about the broader political implications? While Gachagua frames the campaign as a journey towards a more united Kenya, the implications of his involvement extend beyond the constituency. For example, his activism in Mbeere North strengthens his visibility after exiting national office, giving him a platform for political reinvention. If the endorsed candidate performs strongly, it may reinforce the perception of emerging opposition cohesion. And of course, success in the by-election could influence momentum narratives ahead of the 2027 general election, positioning the region as a symbolic indicator of shifting voter sentiment.
Mlichagua yeye. Sasa anakuja kuongea na ninyi mwenyewe akiwa nani? Na ni mtu wa mkono ya Kasongo. Na tumesema Kasongo ni one. Kasongo ni one.
Tafadhali, umeshindwa na kuleta maendeleo uko Tharaka. Hata ile barabara inaenda kwako haina maramu.
However, electoral outcomes depend on multiple variables, including counter campaigns, voter turnout, security conditions, and candidate-specific factors. So what is the voter mood and growing discontent with the Ruto government? This by-election is bigger than just a seat. It is a litmus test for national politics. Across the country, there is growing dissatisfaction with the government, and Mbeere North has not been immune. A strong opposition performance will be seen as a direct vote of no confidence in President Ruto's administration. And for the united opposition, a win will provide not just a seat, but a massive psychological victory. The implication here is victory here will signal that more Kenyans are shifting away from government and are willing to give the united opposition a serious chance in 2027. Of course, we cannot lack risks and challenges. Even with the strong momentum, obstacles remain. For example, in security allegations, Gachagua's claims must be handled carefully to avoid being dismissed as political theatre. What about internal dissension? Some former aspirants feel betrayed, which may cause small pockets of internal discontent. And of course, government counter-campaign. Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has been campaigning aggressively, highlighting government projects to persuade undecided voters.
Ni fire si fire, ni noma si noma, imbwekse si mbwekse, Kamumu hoi, Mbeere North hoi.
Leo, wamulende.
And voter intimidation, fear of violence could discourage turnout unless security is tightly managed. Still, despite these challenges, the united opposition's momentum remains undeniable.
Firstborn wa kwanza wa united opposition anazaliwa mlima huu hapa Mbeere North.
And therefore, Rigathi Gachagua's intensified grassroots campaign in Mbeere North, characterized by door-to-door visits, early morning engagements, and direct appeals to community identity, is reshaping the dynamics of the November 27 by-election. His endorsement of Newton Karish fits into a broader pattern of strategic operation within the opposition coalition aimed at presenting unity and minimizing vote fragmentation. While these factors could contribute to strong electoral performance for the endorsed candidate, the overall outcome will still hinge on broader constituency sentiment, the effectiveness of competing campaigns, and on the ground voter mobilization efforts in the final days before the vote. Thank you for watching. Look out for our next episode. This is Inside the Calling.